Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. I am so excited you're hanging out with us, because today we're going on a really cool, almost magical journey. But we're not looking at things from the perspective of a person or, an animal. Nope. Today we're actually going to look at the world from the perspective of a stone, just a rock. But not just any regular rock sitting out in your backyard. We're going to explore what it means to be a living stone inside literally the most spectacular workshop in the universe.
To kick things off, I want you to imagine a giant construction site. Normally, what do you hear? You hear loud hammering, buzzing saws, huge trucks, people shouting, right? It's super noisy. But here's a massive historical puzzle for you. How do you build a gigantic, magnificent temple in total, absolute silence, without the sound of a single hammer or axe?
Section 1. The Silent Temple Mystery. Okay, let's dive right into this puzzle. It sounds totally impossible, but thousands of years ago, this actually happened with the ancient Jewish temple. It was one of the most beautiful buildings ever constructed. But when they were putting it together on site, it was incredibly quiet. So what was the secret? Well, the builders didn't actually cut the stones at the building site. Instead, every single giant stone was quarried, which just means cut right out of the mountain, far, far away. Up in the mountains, workers perfectly sized, hewn, polished, and tested every single rock. They did all the loud, messy stuff miles away. So when those heavy stones finally arrived in Jerusalem, they were totally finished. They just slid perfectly into place next to each other, honestly like the ultimate puzzle pieces. No axes, no hammers, no noise. Just a perfect fit.
Section 2. Welcome to God's Workshop.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this historical story isn't just history. It actually points to something happening right now, today. That ancient building represents a brand new spiritual temple that God is building right at this very moment. And you're going to want to hear what he's using to build it. Check out this quote from the Bible, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house. Wait a second. Ye, which means you, are lively stones? Yes! The Bible literally calls us lively or living stones. God isn't looking for regular rocks to build his new masterpiece. He's looking for you.
Let's compare the two for a second. Over on one side, we have dead substances. Those were the regular physical rocks used for the ancient Jewish temple. They had to be smashed and fitted with heavy iron hammers and chisels. But on the other side, we have living stones. And that's us. That's people, kids and adults, gathered from every single nation, every language, rich and poor, all over the world. You are literally the living material being gathered for this massive worldwide project.
So, you might be wondering, how does a person actually become a living stone for this temple? Well, it happens in 3 exact steps. Step 1, you're quarried or dug out from the world by the truth. Step 2, you are hewn and polished by the master builder, which is God. He's the one who shapes you. And step 3, you're perfectly fitted for your specific, special place in his spiritual temple.
Section 3. Polishing your character.
Let's zero in on that middle step for a minute, being hewn and polished. Now, when we talk about a regular physical rock, polishing just means rubbing it until it's super smooth and shiny, right? But since you are a living stone, how does the master builder polish you? He does it by polishing your character. And let's define what that means. Character building is the careful daily process of shaping our actions, our choices, and who we really are on the inside. Actually, think about it like this. Imagine you're carefully building a massive, super complicated Lego set. You don't just smash random pieces together, do you? No way. You take your time, you make sure you're using the right pieces and putting them in the exact right spot. That's exactly what character building is like. It's the careful construction of your heart and your daily habits.
And the master builder has some very strict rules for his workshop. First, no cheap material allowed. Second, piece must fit piece perfectly. Third, no careless or indifferent work, which means no messy or rushed jobs. And fourth, bring in no worthless timbers. God cares so much about the finished product. He doesn't want you to just sort of rush through life making poor choices. He wants to help you build a strong, beautiful character with top-quality actions.
And why is he so incredibly careful with these rules? Because when this spiritual temple is finally completed, it's going to be absolutely perfect in all its parts. The source text tells us that this incredible building, which remember is made up of polished people like you, will earn the complete admiration of men on earth and even the mighty angels of heaven. Like the strong heavenly angels will look at what God has built out of us and just completely marvel at the masterpiece.
Let's move to Section 4, removing the rough edges.
Okay, to get a perfectly smooth stone, you first have to chip away the rough edges. Right now, today, you and I are sitting right in the middle of the workshop of God. The text actually describes our time on earth right now as hours of probation, which basically means a time of preparation or a test. This is the exact time when God removes our defects, and a defect is just a flaw or a rough edge in our character. God uses our time on earth to chip away those bad habits so He can fashion us to be as beautiful as a royal palace.
But here's the thing. You aren't just a rock that sits there doing nothing, right? You're a living stone, so you actually have to cooperate with the master builder. How do we do that? Well, we have to refuse to be indifferent, negligent, or careless. We have to actively depart from sin, which just means choosing to walk away from doing bad things. And by letting God remove these rough edges, we become pure and holy, completely ready to fit into the temple perfectly.
Section 5, catching the bright light.
So, the crucial point is, we're at the absolute most exciting part of this whole process. Once a stone is dug out, polished, and its rough edges are totally gone, what is your actual job in the temple? It's summarized perfectly right here. A stone that does not shine is worthless. Think about it for a second. If God goes through all the trouble of picking you up, cleaning you off, and polishing your character, but you just stay dull, dark, and gloomy, well, it ruins the whole effect. The value of God's church isn't made up of dead, lusterless, boring stones. It needs stones that shine.
But wait, rocks don't make their own light, do they? A rock doesn't have a battery or a light bulb hidden inside it. So where on earth do we get our shine? From the Chief Cornerstone. The text calls Jesus Christ the Chief Cornerstone and the Sun of Righteousness. Just like a diamond or a mirror flashes when the sun hits it, our entire job as living stones is to catch the bright beams of light shining from Jesus and reflect them right back out into the world.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate choice we all have to make in the workshop. On one hand, you can be a lusterless stone, dead, dull, refusing to let God polish away your bad habits, and ultimately worthless to the grand design of the building. Or you can choose to be a shining stone, letting the master builder carefully shape your character so that you are perfectly positioned to catch those bright, beautiful beams from the sun of righteousness.
Being a living stone is just an incredible adventure. It means you are chosen, you're valuable, and you are being built into something that will literally amaze the angels. But, it takes work. So I want to leave you with this question to think about today. What rough edges is the master builder polishing off of you right now, in this exact moment, so that you can shine your absolute brightest? Think about your habits, your choices, and how you're letting God build your character today. Thank you so much for joining me in the workshop on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.